Hello. First of all, let's get it out of the way. There is no perfect way to be a parent. There is no manual for being a parent. You just get to that point, you get to that stage, and you see yourself parenting, which is why not what works for A will work for B. You can never really say this is a wholesome package for how to parent. We find that we can stay here to rant out our intestines as much as we can to prove point A or point B. You have to realize that this is a duty, this is a call. Hey, you are called to do this, and you have to get up yourself. You have to find ways to make this thing work. Parenting, it's not easy. One can conclude for sure that there've been some tried and true measures that have been in place over time. And in a nutshell, I'll quickly want to add also that there is no full stop to these tried and true measures. It can be this for me, it can be that for you. You have to keep working on it. You have to keep improving it to suit your family at any particular point in time. And I believe that there's someone out there, even if it's just one family, who what I'm about to say will provide some sort of answer, some sort of help, some sort of insight into. And I am not here to say that I know it all. I would also want to hear yours in the comment section, because there is, like I said, there is no wholesome package kept somewhere for any parent to reach and grab and then automatically know everything at that point. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to get it all together. We do not know it all. At this point, let's get into this video, and let me get my mic for this one. I am putting myself together to say this one. I know so many people will want to say there is so much that would have been done, there is so much that should have been put in place. Just driving through, I could hear people talking about it. You know, my people now. Niger, such news, it flies fast and it goes round. And this man was saying, someone who is as famous as Davido, why didn't he, yeah, and who is as rich as he is, why didn't he teach his son how to swim? And I looked at this man like, are you really serious at this point? I have three boys. My second son is someone who is hyperactive. In fact, if there was a way I could handcuff myself with him, Kaka is somebody that you will stay here. Kaka jump go. Osigeba, even now that he is a bit older, Osigeba, he will be observing something that you kept there. Then the next thing he's going close to that thing. Then the next thing he's putting his head. I know you can't really hold these children so much, but then when you have a toddler, how do you even begin? For anyone who has come to a certain level in life, I think it also has to come with a certain type of responsibility. So for example, you should know that as a parent, where there's a nanny, just know that around that nanny, there should also be an adult who the nanny is answerable to at any point in time. Where there's a nanny, be responsible enough to say, okay, this nanny should answer to this person when I am not here. And it has to be an adult that the nanny can be answerable to. It can be your mom, it can be a member of your family, someone who you trust. Where there's an undeniable influx of adults and new faces in your home, you have to have a safe place, a playpen, a safe pen, something where nobody goes to. There should be a limited amount of visits to this room or this place where you have kept safe for your children. It should be under monitor. It should be away from the influx and the changes of faces coming in. And a certain type of order that shows some sort of responsibility, because it's funny that if anything happens, you will ask this person will ask this person will ask this person. But it's important to know that every family has its own dynamics. So put these things into your own family dynamic. The list is endless, and I know you know what I mean. With each desire in a fulfill, you're also opening up a room for some sort of danger whatsoever. So I pray that parents will take that extra caution. Let safety be the first thing on your mind. Do not leave your children with strangers, with all the child molesters sijule ebe niile. No, we don't leave our toddlers, we don't leave our children in general with strangers, no matter how friendly they are, no matter in your presence. Yes, it may seem as if this person takes care of this child very well, but in your absence, you can never tell. It takes someone who has the highest form of empathy to care for someone else's child in the world of today, especially when the person is not around. It takes the grace of God and everything, especially when you have toddlers, especially when you have children who do not speak, who cannot speak for themselves. In Asim Davido, no, why a boss person who is as rich as he is, why can't he teach his child how to swim? What's that? To be in the pool all by himself and swim as he should and come out from the pool with being safe. Unattended, he can still drown. Let's watch out the way we talk. Hearing that man say that, it really hurts my heart. I am talking from a mother who also has a pool in her house, and I am saying these are the measures we took. And I tell you, in all these measures, we are still on our toes, always on the lookout, because no one can ever be too careful when it comes to caring for a child. Sorry, I'm all over the place in this one. My second son, I'm going to tell him to sit down. 2 seconds, you're doing something else. He will stand up. And then if you ask him, he will tell you, you didn't tell him how many minutes he should sit down. You just told him to sit down. You never mentioned sit for 20 minutes. That's how he will outsmart you in that one. From there, and then he will go out and do that thing that his body is pushing him to go and do. So we saw all of that, and we put caution. I remember those days, that this thing about children jumping over the balcony. And what parents now took the precaution to make the balcony rail longer. Yeah, it was a thing at some point here in Nigeria. They made it longer, for so many reasons, apart from children jumping over, for security and all of that. In fact, as I'm talking to you, fire extinguisher is everywhere in this house. If we are dolocha looking ugly, because at some point it will cut off from the aesthetics of the house. But what you're after is the safety of your keniko. It's not like we are trying to insinuate onoga bok, but you can never tell. What you're after is the safety of your build chada. Is it when you labor to build all that you have built, you lose it in a twinkle of an eye just because you did not have that safety caution? And so that brings me to my third point. Characteristics of all your children. Get to know them. Like the way I've known my second son now, I will not even leave him for a minute. You hold his hand to cross. He does not know how to cross main road though. You will hold his hand to cross the road. Hold his hand. Let's cross road. He will remove his hand to experience it by himself. So you have to shout and hold him like a dog to make sure that he's in an adult supervision, over supervised. Am I enjoying it? At first it was tasking, because you have so many places you want to go to. If you remember, you have a son that you can't even blink 2 times, he's no longer around you. You prime up yourself and be prime up yourself and do as you should. Your children's temperaments, you have to know their personality, you have to know their characters, you have to know what they can do, what they cannot do. A lot of parents are not even invested. I know that things are hard, but it's hard everywhere. It don't hard, be say it don't hard. As it don't hard, so now you go come, they add another hardship on top your head. Is that how we want to do it now? Will you now use one hand to be gathering and the other hand to scatter? I know it's a lot, but you have to be invested at some point. There are some kids that you tell them, almost sit here, they are there. They are not going to move to explore anything. Then there are some, that time you've told them to sit, that's when they will observe you. Go do their own thing. It cannot be the same for everybody. And as I'm saying this, I am talking to every one of us, because I'm not here to make this video to feed off of the agony of some other family or to feed off of what's going on right now. I am here to talk to us parents. You can have cameras on your phone to always observe what they are doing. If you can, because these things are like taking it to the extreme, extreme, extreme. If you can, irrespective of the fact that you have a nanny around you, how you want take do, how you for do, at least you've done the one that you can do as a human being, because you can never really be too careful when they are home. How do you take care of the security? What are the cautionary measures you have put in place to make sure that these ones are safe at least 80% of the time that they are around the house, 80% of the time that they are running around, in the house? There are so many things that can cause that are hazardous in a living home. The kitchen, just the kitchen here, is every home's kitchen is such a ticking time bomb. Yes, with the gas that we use in the house. In here in Nigeria, we don't baby proof, we don't child proof a lot of things. Before a child comes into any home, there are measures. Here, mechakwa child proof. The edges of tables, you have to use this. There's this plastic thing you will use to, cover the four edges of the table, as little as those things, so that when they are running around and they hit their heads on the table, that plastic, soft malleable plastic, will hold them from having that very hard impact. So many things. The switch you have in your house, you baby proof it, so that the child will not go and take metal. And like my son now, he can take metal out of his curious nature. He would want to know what's inside the switch, and before you know, he gets electrocuted. So you baby proof the switch area, you baby proof the step. So the step now, the child cannot come down, because you have like about 4 other staircase proof. There's a way they call it, staircase, so that he will open this one, he will come down. By the time he opens like 2 or 3 stages, he will get tired and roll, or you will now look for him. You will hear the sound of something opening. So many things to do to baby proof a house. All the hypo, all the cleaning supplies in your home should not be on the ground level cupboard, because these things, the adverts on them are also catchy. The body, they are so catchy, they are so colorful, and so a child will see it and say, oh, what's this? Okay, it's a liquid I can drink. He's opening, he's drinking, and that's it. So everything you use for washing, anything, the persil, the, what are they again, the hypo, the have you seen Fabuloso? Fabuloso has this sorry, I'm calling the name like this. It has this aroma, this very fine fragrance. Which child will see it and not think it's apple juice? Which child will see it and not think it's apple juice? This moment they are seeing it, the only thing is that the Fabuloso bottle, there's this way, the cap cover, you can't open it without pressing it down. So a toddler will not know that he will hold down and twist. So that's how they have put caution in that one now, in that bottle, because they know some parents will still keep detergents and all those cleaning things on ground level. Normally they should be high up, where toddlers and small children cannot reach. High up. If you get key safe, padlock am, keep. You can't be too careful, I know. If you go flour, if you go cooking ingredients, if you go whatever, should not be where children should reach it. If you go umuhiba fridge, water from the fridge can even roll over on top of a toddler's head. Oni asoje. Please, whatever I'm saying in Igbo, I will translate. Just remembered something. Those days, back in the days, a family friend of ours, then what she was doing was to fry, supply to schools. She had finished frying. Hot frying pan. She kept. That's why I said, if you go, this our kitchen in the house. Every house, every home that has functional kitchen, na ticking time bomb. She finished frying, hot frying pan kept. The crawling baby, who does not know, went to the kitchen to look for the mom, because the mom is always in the kitchen frying things. He went there, saw frying pan. He fried himself. They didn't even know. Don't get me shedding tears here, Bikonu. Oh my! The child crawled into that manuako, that frying pan, and that was it, umunem. That was it. This one is not for me to say, mothers, we can. If you're a parent, you should be on your toe. As we're here looking for whose bum bum is shaking, let's also look back and say, okay, time to baby proof this house. Time to, remove and put things in order. Like I said, you will not use one hand to be gathering and use the other hand to scatter, especially when human life is involved. It's not easy, we know. It's not easy. I went for this course. One of the lectures in that HSC course was so much neglect, so much around the cooking gas. So many of us are guilty of this. Normally, how it should be is you turn it off and on from the main source before you come into, because it's no news that your cylinder should not be in the same kitchen where your gas itself, the burner, is. So the cylinder should be somewhere out where there's open air. So let me drop a little story before we close on this one. The maid, she owns this gas. The gas are equal, because once you turn on the knob, the gas starts oozing off, like that. Then she finds out there's no matches. Normally, gas has this particular smell. The maid comes, auntie, gas matches has finished. Okay, take 15 naira, go down the street, buy matches. The gas is still on. The madam did not pick the smell. It's down the line. Her husband drives in. The maid is not back yet. The husband drives in and says, walk straight to the kitchen. And as he's coming in, he knowing the smell already, he's saying, okay, what smell is this? Okay, the gas is on. Why is the gas on? He forgets that once the gas is on, all you should do is to put off the gas from the main source. He shouldn't even come inside. From that first place point, that cylinder outside is where he should have gone to put it off. But at this point, because the first thing that his brain picks is what? That smell. His first point of call is to shut out the source of that smell, forgetting that, there are measures you should take before it shuts out. So he comes to the kitchen. Everywhere is foggy because of the gas. Everywhere is dark. He couldn't see so clear, so he needed to on the switch. My people, as he on that switch, even me talking to you, before I went to that course, I did not know that putting on switch where there's a gas leakage, a gas smell, gas saturation causes, once that spark comes up, a room filled with gas already, and that was the end. Enough said. Whoever that is hurting now, I pray that peace will come to you. I pray that God will begin to send comfort to you. He will comfort you. He's our comforter. He's the great comforter. I pray that he will comfort you. But I pray that he will bring that succor. You will find that succor in him, and you will begin to rebuild. Thank you for coming on this one. Until the next one, it's a bye from here, and God bless.